So in this video, I'm going to show you how to install and get started with the Drive Files Metadata add-on for Google Sheets. So it wants to get started. So I'm going to click on that link. So these are the permissions it will ask you for. So it wants to see what's in your Google Drive, so it's just necessary because it wants to be, you're going to use it to list all your files. You want to also be able to edit those files, the file name and the file description, and whether it's a stored item or not. You can't create new files with this, but the permission is all part of the package. But you can delete files with this if you choose to. So that's why it needs that permission. You're going to manage it through a spreadsheet. So this is asking for permission to manage the data in the spreadsheet into which you install it. You click connecting to external services to retrieve the data, and I'll show you some of the data it's retrieving later. The allow application to run when you're not present is because I've set up the option for you to run triggers to update the thumbnails, and I'll explain that in a little while. And the display and run third-party web content in prompts and sidebars inside Google applications is just to allow the sidebars that you're going to need and the pop-up menu windows to run this add-on. So that's installed it. So you get a message up here saying, click on the add-ons menu, click on Drive Files Metadata, and the only options you've got are Start and Help. So if I choose Start, it will open this sidebar in this on the side. So there's 4 submenus, and if you click on each of those, it will hide the others and show this one, and all the others work the same way. So there's setting the sheets, selecting which folder you want to retrieve data from, and also selecting exactly what you want as well in there. If you're going to get thumbnails of image files, you can set up there how big you want those to be. So the default is 150 by 200. You can also set a trigger on there to refresh that data every hour, and that's there because Google's thumbnails expire, the links to them expire after 90 minutes, or roughly 90 minutes. So if you want to update the image, you'd need to refresh it. Manage the file information is where you can update files you select, and you can delete files you select as well. Select folder is that will open a picker where you can choose the whole of your My Drive. So the select folder opens this. So you can select a particular file or a particular folder, and then it will get all the images, all the information in there. If you've got image files in there, you can select, you can get that image information. I've set that as an option because that is a bit slower because it has to go and get it, that image information through a slightly different method. So that takes a bit longer, and if you don't need it, you don't want to spend that time doing it. And you can choose to include or not include subfolders of the folder you've chosen. So I've set these out in order, essentially. You've got to set up the sheet first, or choose the sheet that you want to put the data into. So I'm going to create a new sheet and give it a name. If there's already a sheet with that name, it will say can't do that and just default to the next sheet number. So it creates the new sheet and formats it like this. So these are the headings for the data that's going to be inserted into here. The first two columns are there for you to select which ones you want to delete or to update. You just put E and Y in there if you want to delete it or if you want to update it. These three fields are and they're coloured in differently because you can change those and then use the update option to say, right, I want to update these. And then the rest of it is all just read only. We'll retrieve that data and then show it on there. I'll explain that more in a little while when I get some data. So that's set up the sheet. Then I want to select a folder. You've got two options. You can paste a URL, a folder URL link in there, and then with that, or you can select a particular folder. So if I select it with the I'm going to select this one. No, this one, actually. So it tells you that it's posted the ID of that folder in there, so you can get the data. I'm not going to get the information, the image information yet. I'll do that in a second on the second run through of this. And I'm not going to set the thumbnails up because I've not done anything with that. I'm not retrieving images, so I'm just going to fetch the data. Depending how many files you've got in your folder that you're selecting, will make it longer or shorter. It just depends how many files you've got. Every minute or so, it will paste in what it's got and then restarts it. However many files you've got, as long as you keep the window open, that will keep going until it's fetched them all. If, for whatever reason, you have to interrupt it, if this information here is still the same, when you next run it, it will continue on with where it left off. So this is the list of files that are in that folder. So I've been messing about with the description and changing that I've put a description in there. So these are all image files taken with my phone. So the image name, the file name is a bit meaningless. Actually, in this case, it's got the date on. So then you've got the file ID, and that's there because that's the key to the file, and I use that to be able to go in and edit these fields if that's what you want to do. A thumbnail of the image will appear there if you've chosen image data, and then there's the folder path, the file URL, a download link, a redirect link, who's got access and what sort of access they've got, whether it's shareable, date it was created, date it was last updated, file type, and file size. And then the rest of this information comes if it was, if you selected get image data. I'm just going to start again with this. And this time I'm going to get the image data. So that's a thumbnail for that image. It's just a link to a thumbnail URL provided by Google. As I say, that will disappear and not work after 90 minutes. So this is that's the thumbnail, and it's gone and retrieved the rest of its information. So it's got the date the image was taken, what the camera make was, the model, the exposure time, the aperture, the flash used, focal length, ISO speed. These bits of information might mean more to you than me if you're interested in photography. And then over here, you've got, if your device is set up to capture the location, that will be embedded in the image as well. So this has retrieved the latitude and longitude and the altitude of the position where that image was taken. So taking that data, I've retrieved the address. I've also retrieved, if you've come across what 3 words, the 3 words that identify that spot on the Earth, a link to what 3 words map, what the nearest place is, and which country it's in. If it's a video file, these 3 fields will be populated. So the width of the video, the height, and the duration. Just go back. So this thumbnail is an image link. 150 is the height, 200 is the width, which is the settings in here. You can change those to whatever you want, except that I have limited them to 300 high and 400 wide. If you want them different other than that, you can change the numbers in there if you like. I've put a refresh button on there to go get that thumbnail image again if it disappears, because it's out of time. And as I said before, these are buttons to set a trigger to get that every hour, or to stop getting that every hour. I think that's long enough for this. If you have any comments or questions, please put them in the description, in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I hope you find it useful.